We can hear you. We can hear you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
We are waiting for one of the facilitators to join us. My own name is Gabriel Michael Audu. I'm talking from the head office in Port Harcourt. Can we quickly take the attendance and let me be sure of who is here? S. M. A. Hello, Madam.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Hello.
Good morning, ma'am.
Hello.
Good morning, ma'am.
I think I'm connected now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I logged in a little bit late. I usually like to start my class with a prayer. If somebody can lead us in a very short prayer.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
In the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
Father, King of glory, we thank you for a brand new day. We thank you for another opportunity to live. Thank you for this meeting. Thank you for the people in the meeting. Thank you for everything you've done. Father, I pray that to start this meeting, that every knowledge that we pass out shall be imparted in Jesus' name. Help us go through this and more in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Amen.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Sorry, I'm late now. I don't know if Mr. Gabriel has introduced us. Mr. Gabriel, have you introduced us? Hello, Mr. Gabriel. Hello, Mr. Gabriel. Hello, Mr. Gabriel. He's been logged out. Amarachi, I need to call him to log in.
Let me call and find out.
No, he's the host.
Hello, good
Okay,
morning. Good morning, sir. Yes. A message is calling your attention. My message is calling your attention. Yes.
Is he on the end?
Okay, let me tell you. All right.
It's like it's locked out.
He will join in shortly. He was locked out.
But has he done any form of introduction?
Hello, ma.
Has he done any form? Has he done introduction and all that? No, he's not.
No. He was waiting for you. No, he was waiting for you.
Okay. So good morning once again to everyone. If you're on this platform, that means you're in here for a training, an online training for, the salesmen, the new salesmen for M.Saleh and Co. Limited. I'll just briefly introduce that we are 3 facilitators. I'm just going to talk to you on the basic understanding of generators. And then Mr. Gabriel is going to talk to you on transformer, tractors, and other equipment that M.Saleh and Company sells. Amarachi is a customer care manager of M.Saleh. She's going to be talking to you about the customer service relationship. We're going to talk to you about servicing of generator and all that. So I'll just start and I'll be very, very brief because this meeting is a time-bound meeting. So basically, what are generators? I'm sure every one of us have an idea of what a generator is. So the generators, generators you use in your house. Either you have a generator in your house or your neighbor has one, or you have seen one in a barber shop. Power generating set is power generating set. It's just that there are slightly difference between one to the other. There's slightly difference between the petrol engine and then the diesel engine. If not, they all operate in the same way. So a generating set has two parts, be it fuel engine, fuel empowered generator or diesel empowered generator. They have two parts. You have the electrical part and then you have the mechanical part. Hello, are you hearing me? Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. So they have two parts, all generators, both the both the diesel engine and the petrol engine, they have two parts, the electrical part and then the mechanical part. The electrical part is called the alternator, while the mechanical part is called the engine. For this study, we're going to talk mainly on diesel engine. Now, the basic difference between the diesel engine and the petrol engine is that the diesel engine runs slower than the petrol engine. The RPM, that's the rotation per minute for a petrol engine, is 3,000 RPM, 3,000 rotation per minute. That's the rate at which it runs. And you can see that at 3,000 RPM is quite high. That's why when you have a petrol engine, the fuel burns very fast. But for the diesel engines that we're going to talk about on this training, the RPM is 1,500. And because RPM is 1,500, it tends to burn slower. And the volatility of diesel, is higher than that of petrol. So with a 1,500 RPM engine, it burns slower and then produces more current. And then the diesel we put inside the generator will generally last longer than the amount they put inside a petrol engine. I think that's just the basic difference between a petrol engine and a diesel engine. Then the petrol engine, the power factor is 1. While that of the diesel engine, the power factor is 0.8. If you don't understand, there's a platform where you can raise your hand and then I can call you to ask your questions. So for this study, we're doing diesel engine. For diesel engines, we're going to talk from 10 kVA to up to 2,000 kVA generators. Now for diesel engine, we have different kind of engines. We have the Lister Peter, we have the Lister Peter, we have Perkins, we have Doyce, we have Volvo Penta, we have Cummins, we have John Deere, we have Caterpillar engines, and there are other new engines, Boot1, and other engines that they have introduced. When you come to the market, you're going to come in contact with those of them, and maybe Gabriel is going to enlighten you more on those other generators. Like I told you, generator has two parts. You have the electrical part and then the mechanical part. The electrical part is called the alternator, while the mechanical part is the engine. The alternator is coupled to the engine at a point called the flywheel. The point where the engine is coupled to the alternator is called the flywheel. Now, what happens is that the engine drives the alternator to generate the current. So for every alternator, there is an appropriate capacity of alternator that can push it to generate a current. So sometimes the engine could be small, but it has the power. It can, drive a bigger alternator to generate more current. So the engine generator is made up of two parts. You have the electrical, you have the mechanical part. The electrical part is the alternator, is the AC alternator. That is alternate currents alternator. As alternate currents, that's what you know. AC alternator. Then you have the engine is the mechanical part coupled at the flywheel. Now on top of the alternator, you have the control panel. The control panel is like the monitor. The control panel is like a monitor. It's what you look at a glance and tell you what is going on in the generator. Just like when you have your computer, you have the monitor, and that tells you what is going on in the central processing system. The same way in the generator, you have the control panel on top of the alternator that at a glance will tell you the activities that is going on in the generator. Now, on the control panel, you have things like the hour meter, the frequency meter, you have the voltmeter, you have the amp meter, you have the commuters, you have the oil sensor, the water sensor, the battery sensor. All these things are on the control panel. So if you look at the control panel on a glance, you will know what is going on, in the generator. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Any questions so far? I hope you're hearing what I'm saying.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
ma'am. For now,
We are
I don't
hearing.
have question.
We get you.
Okay, you're following what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just wanted the response. It's a Zoom meeting. I'm not seeing you, so it's your response that will make me know that you're following what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's the basic thing about generator. Now, the generators are designed to carry equipment. The generators are designed to carry equipment. And for you to be able, for the generator to be able to carry an equipment, it must know the amount of equipment it's going to carry. We refer to the equipment as load. When you're talking about generator, the terminology we use for equipment, appliances, is called load. Now, if you have any appliance in your house, be it air conditioner, a refrigerator, a television, anything, as long as, even as small as the hair dryers, they all have graduations on them, telling you the capacity of the equipment. So based on this capacity of the equipment, you are able to calculate the load that a particular generator is going to carry. For example, a customer can possibly come to the company and say, I want to buy a generator. And then he will tell you that I want to buy a generator. And then maybe his electrician has told him that what he needs is a 60 kVA. So he has come to the office and he said, I want to buy a generator. I want to buy a 60 kVA. And you say, for example, that the 60 kVA is 4 million naira. You say, okay. Then how about 100 kVA? How much is 100 kVA? And you tell him that 100 kVA is 4.5 million naira. He will say, how can I buy 60 kVA for 4 million naira when I can buy 100 kVA for 4.5 kVA? I rather buy the 100 kVA than settle for the 60 kVA, since the price difference between the two of them is not much, and the other one is going to give you more capacity. Generator is not like that. When you're buying generator, you must buy the exact size that will carry your equipment, because if the generator is underloaded, there is a problem. And if the generator is also overloaded, there is a problem. So what do you do? So when the customer comes, most time, because you want to sell a generator, and the generator you're selling is an equipment that costs a lot of money, they're not looking at your fine, they're not looking at your outfit, or they're not looking at how fine or how beautiful or how handsome you are. What the customer want to get is a conviction on what he's paying. He want to get value, both intellectually and physically. He want to have value for his generator. So what do? You sit him down and then first of all tell him that you want to know, you want to be able to calculate the load that he has and to find out the capacity of generator that he's going to need. Based on that, you start talking with him and then he will tell you. Sometimes he will say, okay, I don't know. You can come to my house and then come and inspect or do the calculation myself. No. Tell him that you don't need to come to his house. If he can give you all the equipment in his house, or you can write it down and then you can calculate. So that's how you come to the point of knowing how to calculate load. You must know how to calculate the load. How do we calculate load? You convert all the units to kilowatts, and then you divide by 0.8, which is the power factor, to get the kV. Hello? For example, if I want to calculate, say the man has 3 ACs in his house, and the ACs units are in horsepower, and I want to calculate what capacity, what kVA can 3 ACs carry. What I'll do is I'll multiply 3 by 1.5, which is the capacity of the AC. Assuming the capacity of the AC is 1.5, I'll multiply 3 times the 1.5. Whatever I get, I'll multiply it by 0.075. Hello? So now I want to find out if you're following up. I'm just doing a simple calculation. Assuming that I want to know what kVA can carry, say, 3 horsepower AC. 1.5 horsepower AC times 3. And say say 2 deep freezers of 1,500 watts each. I hope you're writing this down. Now, I want to know if you're following. What you do is the 1.5 horsepower ACs, you multiply it by 3. Whatever you get, you times it by 0.75. What you get will be in kilowatts. Now, the deep freezer, the unit for deep freezer is 1,500 watts. And because you need to change it to kilowatts, you divide each of them by 1,000 watts. That will give you 1.5 kilowatt times 2. You will now have 3 kilowatts. So whatever you get from the AC, I think for the AC, the 3 AC, you're going to get 3.375. Is that what you got? Is that what you got? Is that what you got?
Sorry, can you just state the value again so that we can do the calculation here?
And as I said, okay, I said, for example, I'll just give an example. I want to find out the kVA that can carry 3 ACs, and each of the AC is 1.5 kilowatt, 1.5 horsepower, because the unit of AC is horsepower.
Okay.
Now we have 3 ACs, and each of them is 1.5 horsepower. So what you do, you multiply the 3 ACs
Yes.
times 1.5. The value you will get, you now multiply it again by 0.75. Whatever you get will be in kilowatts. And I said, assuming I add another 2 deep freezers, each of the deep freezer is 1,500 watts. And for me to convert from 1,500 watts to kilowatts, I'll just divide 500 by 1,000. So I'll get 1.5 for each of them. So 1.5 times 2 will give me 3 kilowatts. So add whatever you get for the 2 of them. What did you get?
3 kilowatts. Yes. That should be 7.5 kilowatt altogether.
No, what did you get when you divide the one for three for the three aces? What did you get?
Okay, sorry. I need to multiply this thing by just a minute.
What you get is 3.375 kilowatts, and then you add the 3 for the two deep freezer. What you get is 6.375. If you divide it by 0.8, you get 6.375 divided by 0.8 will give you 7.96 something fraction kVA. So approximately about 10 kVA. That's what you need to carry those 5 appliances. Hello.
Yes.
Is that what you got?
Almost that.
It has to be the same now. It's simple calculation. It's a straightforward calculation.
Yes.
Well, for the sake of time, if you don't understand, you need to meet Mr. Gabriel. You need to meet Mr. Gabriel, the branch manager. Let him explain further to you on how to calculate it. So it's very, very important you know how to calculate the load, because you have to be knowledgeable about the product you're selling. It's not just that I want you to come and buy a generator. You must have the knowledge, a product knowledge. That is the convincing power. When the person you're talking to knows that you know what you're talking, it's convinced that you have an idea about what you're talking about, then he's willing to part with his money. The money is not small money, so he will not part with the money because you're very handsome or you're very beautiful. He will part with the money because he has found out that what you're telling him are facts, and that fact that he can relate with. And then you'll be willing at that point to pay for the equipment. So you must learn how to calculate the load. It's not negotiable. It's a compulsory part of the generator business. So you must learn. So after this lecture, you can meet Mr. Gabriel if you don't understand. And these are Port Harcourt people, right? Mr. Gabriel. Are these Port Harcourt people?
Yes, ma'am, we are here.
Okay, you are in Port Harcourt, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you can meet Mr. Gabriel now. And Mr. Gabriel will
Excuse
explain
me,
further.
I got 7.3 kVA.
What do you get?
7.3.
No, it's more than 7.3. It's about 7.9 something.
I have 7.96875.
You're very correct.
All right.
That's correct. That one is very correct. So approximately you can say about 10 kV. What the customer will need is about 10 kV. Consider your other equipment that you didn't calculate, maybe the lighting points. Didn't calculate the lighting points. Hello, I'm with you.
Madam. Hello, madam.
I'm with you, yeah?
Yeah, these are Lagos people. Not Port
Oh,
Harcourt
these are
people.
Lagos people.
Yes.
Okay.
Not Port Harcourt people, but of course, I can also do it and forward to them there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how to calculate. Just know how to convert it. What you do is to convert horsepower to kilowatt, you multiply by 0.75.
You can also Google it.
Then
Yes,
to convert
yes.
kilowatt to convert wattage to kilowatt, it just divide by 1,000 watts. And then whatever you get to kVA is kilowatts divided by 0.8. Whatever you get is the kVA of the generator that you need. So can we move a little bit forward now?
Yes.
Okay, I was talking about underloading and then overloading of the generators. Why it is important to buy, that's how we got to this point of calculating the load. Why it's important to buy the generator you need is that if the generator is overloaded, it will be troubleshooting. And if the generator is underloaded, it will be troubleshooting. Now, the way the generators are designed, the way the diesel engines are designed, they have piston and rings system. So the piston is on top of the ring. For a brand new engine, please, somebody where you are, there is noise. Can you help us walk you from that place? So for a brand new engine, the rings are tight and the pistons are new. So for the piston to be able to exert pressure on the ring, to open the ring, there has to be load. It is the amount of load on the piston that will exert pressure on the piston and cause the rings to open. But when there is no load, when the generator is underloaded and there is no equipment on the generator, it means it does not have enough pressure to push the piston down the ring so that the oil can flow freely. So what happened? Instead of the oil entering inside the ring, the oil will spill over the ring. And when the oil spill over the ring, at the first stage, it will come out of the exhaust as white fumes. At the first stage, it will come out from the exhaust as white fumes. Now you say, yes, normally fumes comes out of every generator. Yes, every fumes comes out, but they have different colors. The fume that runs, normally the fumes are very light, but this fume is like when you pour the oil inside water, the kind of cloud that it creates is the kind of fumes that you see when the generator is underloaded at the first time. So when you notice that kind of a smoke, if a customer complains that his generator is bringing out smoke, you ask him what's the color of the smoke. If you say if it's thick white smoke, it means that the generator is underloaded. And the cure for the generator at that time is to add more equipment to the genset. If you add more equipment at that initial stage, the smoke will clear out and then the generator will start running normally. But if you don't do that and allow it to run, to continue to run, now it will get to a point. That's what we call the top cylinder gas, the top cylinder in the generator. On the top cylinder, it's like a cover that is covering two plates, the one down and the one that is on top. In between the two covers, that's what we call the top cylinder gasket. This top cylinder gasket is made out of rock wool. So it actually looks like a cardboard paper, but it's not really cardboard paper. It can absorb moisture or any liquid thing, gradually. It might not be immediately, it can absorb it gradually. So if the oil continue to spill without it being checked, without it being controlled, it will start entering the top cylinder gasket. That top cylinder gasket is like an what do you call it? It's an anti-friction. It was placed there to prevent friction between the two cylinders. So that thing will start sucking oil. As it starts sucking oil, it will start smoldering. That is this what they use, smoke without fire. Actually, scientifically, that smoke without fire is called smoldering. So what will happen? It will start smoldering. As it's smoldering, the top cylinder gasket will start thinning out. When it starts thinning out, you get to a point, now become iron to iron, and there will now be nothing preventing friction. What will now happen? The engine will now knock. That is what is called the knocking of engine, because at that point, there is no more oil again, and then it's now become face to surface contact. Then the engine will knock. But this can be prevented if the person notices that there's an oil coming out, there's a white fume coming out of the exhaust, and they arrest the situation immediately. It can prevent this. But if it is not checked and continue to allow the oil to spill and spill and spill and spill, by the time the oil is finished and the top cylinder gasket has thinned out, it becomes iron to iron, and then the engineer will knock. So it's very, very important that you don't let the price of the generator determine the size the person is going to buy. Because most time, the difference in price between one gen to another gen is not much, especially when the sizes are close. It's not much. So always insist on calculating the load. And if you want the generator to run effectively, you must have a minimum of 50% of the capacity of the gen. But the best is to have at least 75% of the capacity of the gen running at every time T. When you do that, the generator will run smoothly, the rings will open very well, and the lubricants will circulate very well and produce the kind of current you want. So it's very important for the customer to buy the actual size of generator that he wants. Now, the generators, each of them have number of cylinders. You can see that between 75 kVA and 50 kVA and 75 kVA, they're both 4 cylinders. But you might be wondering, how come 50 kVA is 4 cylinders and 75 kVA is 4 cylinders? And they said one is 50 kVA and the other one is 75 kVA. The difference between the 50 kVA and the 75 kVA is what we call a turbo charger. I'm sure most of you have heard about turbo charger. That's just the difference between a 75 kVA and a 50 kVA. Now, what's the work of the turbo charger? The work of the turbo charger is to absorb more oxygen and increase the combustion surface, thereby producing more current. The turbo charger sucks up oxygen and increases the combustion surface, and thereby generating more current. That is why a four-cylinder engine can generate both 50 and 75 kVA if you add a turbocharger to the engine, it will now help it to generate more current and make it 75 kVA. So that's the difference between the 75 kVA and a 50 kVA, the turbocharger that helps to generate more current. Any questions so far? Just like our cars, the generating plants, they also have injector pumps. The injector pumps help in injecting diesel from the tank into the system. It's not when you put diesel inside the tank, the diesel does not use the hose, just the hose is not just enough to be able to transfer the diesel into the system for it to run. It has an injecting system. Now they have different types of injectors. They have injectors that comes with rotor pumps, and they have injector that comes with elements inside. Now you have to talk to your customer too, because the kind of diesel they use for the generators are very, very important. If the diesel in the generator is not pure, if there are impurities inside the generator, it can affect this engine if not properly checked. Yes, we have in the generators, you have things like the oil filter, you have the things like the fuel filter, the air filter, and all that are supposed to help in further filtering the liquids, the lubricants that gets into the system. Even the air that gets into the generator is filtered through the air filters. But even at that, because most of the diesel that is produced in Nigeria is produced from local refineries, and those local refineries, they don't have quality control. So the diesel that they produce are most times substandard, still have a lot of impurities, and then the transport system is through water. So some of the time they have water inside, thereby adulterating the diesel. So if the customer just say, okay, I buy my diesel for NNPC. Even NNPC, those NNPC, are they not owned by Nigerians? Everybody wants to make extra cash here and there. So they still patronize those adulterated diesels. So they need to check the kind of diesel that is put in the generator. Because if you put a diesel that is adulterated, for example, it has water or impurities inside, the injector pump is designed to inject diesel, not water. Meanwhile, water is even heavier than the diesel. If you want to experiment this, when you go home, put diesel in a plate and put water, you see that the diesel will come up and be floating while the water is down. So if you have an adulterated diesel that has water inside, what will happen is when you put it inside the generator and the generator try ejecting the diesel and the water enters, because the water is heavier than the diesel. If it's an injector pump that has a rotor head, like a standard Dyne or a Delphi injector pump, the rotor head will break. And when the rotor head breaks, it needs to be replaced before the generator can function again. These injector pumps are not cheap, they're very expensive. So you need to advise your customers that they should use diesel for the generator. They should use good diesel for the generator because the equipment is expensive on its own. So they should use good diesel to run it. If it's an injector pump that has elements inside, if it tries to inject water, because the water is heavier than diesel, the elements inside the injector pump will bend, and they will need to take the injector pump to a machine shop to replace the element and then to service the injector pump before it can be reused. All these things are time wasting, and they're also expensive, because if a customer buy a generator from you, a brand new generator from you, and they start having this problem, you say, oh, that your generator is under warranty, knowing fully well that the warranty does not cover this place. The next thing, he will start telling you that you sold him a substandard generator. So it's very important you advise the customer to use the right diesel. Well, as bad as it is, you can still get a reasonably clean diesel from NNPC refinery, NNPC filling stations. So always advise your customers to use good diesels for their engine, because if they use bad diesel, the consequence is high. If it's a digital generator, it's going to cost, the cost of fixing the injector pumps is going to run into millions. So it's always good to advise your customers that buy generator from you that they should use the right diesel. They should go to NNPC and buy their diesel. They should make sure that they get good quality diesel to run the generators. Now, even the diesels, how do they know which one is good, which one is bad, and all that? Yes, you tell the customer, if the generator diesel is black like Coca-Cola, it's bad diesel. It should be at least like granite oil. If the diesel is black like Coca-Cola, it's bad diesel. And if you put your hand inside the diesel and you start feeling as if you're rubbing cream on your hand, you start feeling oily substance inside, it means the diesel is adulterated. Or if you pour it on the ground and then you start noticing that when the diesel is drying out, it's creating cloud of oil, it means it's bad diesel. These are things that you tell your customers. When you're telling them this thing, you're winning their confidence. you're winning their confidence. They will know that this person have their interests at heart. Usually, relationship in generator business starts after the person has bought the generator. Because when the customer buys the generator and the generator serves him very well, he might remember one or two persons and tell that the generator you gave to him is good. And then anytime he wants to buy a generator, you have earned his confidence. He will call you to buy a generator. But I tell you, if anything go wrong with the generator, God help you if he doesn't call the press and tell the press that you sold him a substandard generator. You are lucky, because he will make so much trouble, because he will think that he has spent so much money. Find that the generator is not giving him the desired satisfaction from the money he has paid. So you need to educate your customer also on the kind of diesel they will use on the generator. It's very, very important. Before a customer buys a generator from you, it's very important, if it's possible, send somebody to go and inspect the site. Let somebody go inspect the site, a technical person. But if you learn very well, you yourself, you can go there and then inspect the site and observe. But for a starter, you can send a technical person. And because you are new on the job and because you want to know more about your job, you can follow the technical team to the site and observe how they evaluate a site for a generator. It's important you go to the site and know, and they first of all go to the site, see the position where they want to keep the generator, what the person have on ground, before the generator is installed or delivered to the person. It's very, very important, because sometimes some people say they want to buy a generator, they'll just think that maybe you have a crane that you carry generator across a fence to deliver to them. And sometimes they think that the self-loaders could do extraordinary jobs in delivering the generator, and the place might not be accessible. But if you go there and if you send technical team and they go there and inspect the site, they will know if the site is accessible or it's not accessible, and they will know the kind of equipment to go with to be able to place the generator properly. And now it's also important that the technicians the electrician are going to go install the generator. Before they go there, you call the customer to make his in-house electrician available at the site. Because the in-house electrician is the person that knows how the house is wired. So he's the one that will know the kind of load that they have in the house. Now, to this point, I want to explain something to you. Some people have 3 phases of PHCDN, that's power holding. They have 3 phases. Some people have 2 phases. Now, the 2 phases of what they call it, of PHCN, does not have anything to do with the 3 phase of generators, because generators you're going to be dealing with, most of them, especially the one after 20 kV, they all have 3 phases. So the 3 phase of generator does not have anything to do with the 3 phase of NEPA. So don't misunderstand it. That is why they need an in-house technician to be at the site, because when they connect the generator, it is the electrician, the in-house electrician, that will distribute the load on the 3 phases of the generator, which is very, very important. The in-house electrician will distribute the load on the 3 phases of the generator. Because if they don't distribute the load evenly on the 3 phases of the generator, any of the phases that has more load will burn what they call the circuit breaker on the generator. The circuit breaker is a circle, it's an electric circle which the current flows through. So if the generator is overloaded, what it means that it will break the circle. And if it breaks the circle, and if it's checked immediately, the current will now bypass the circle and start entering directly into the alternator. And if not washed, this thing can burn the alternator. I'm sure you would have heard people say they rewind the coil in the alternator. This is what happened. The circuit breaker got burned, and then current started entering directly into the alternator, thereby burning the coil inside the alternator. So it's very, very important that when you buy the generator, you tell the customer that his in-house electrician should be on site when they're delivering the generator, so that it will help them distribute the load in his house into the 3 phases. Now, that is not the work of M.Saleh. It's not our work to go and do in-house electrification or distribution of load. Our job stops at the generator. So what we do, yes, we say it's free connection, free delivery. When they deliver the generator to you, they connect it to your house. But it's not our job to come and distribute the load on the 3 phases in your house. It's your in-house electrician that understands how the house is wired, that knows where, what is, that will now do that arrangement. Is the one that will now distribute the load to the different phases. So it's important, because if the circuit breaker got burnt and it is not noticed on time, it will give a signal. You will start hearing a cracking sound inside the circuit breaker. At that time, if they notice, maybe the light might also start fluctuating. If they notice and they change the circuit breaker on time, it might not cause any harm. That it will start sending current back into the alternator, and thereby will cause the alternator to burn. That's when we say the coil is burned and they need to rewind. Also, another effect of bad diesel is when you have a bad diesel in your generator. When you start the generator, it will run for a while, just and then it will stop. You do and then it will stop. Now, if the customer maybe wants to on the generator at all costs because he thinks he just bought a new generator, and he continue to kickstart the generator, after a while, the kickstarter will get burnt. And that will also be expensive. So this is also another effect of bad diesel. The kickstarter can get burnt from constantly starting the generator. So it's always good that once you notice a trouble, call the customer service so that they will know what response or what to tell him. It's very, very important. So far, can I know if you understand any question? Any question? Jaya, do you want to ask a question?
Thank you very much, Ma. I want to ask a question.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Now, based on how to calculate the load. Now, for instance, you gave us the instance in the other time that, for instance, we have 3 AC and their capacity is 1.5 horsepower. Now we multiply that 1.5 horsepower multiplied by 3. Then whatever you get multiplied by 0.75.
Yes.
Then it will give you the correct answer. Now, my question is this. Is this 0.75? Is it a constant value?
Yeah, it's a constant value. It's a value you use.
Okay, because I got the 2 calculations very well. Now, Where you say, for instance, we have free solar of capacity 1,500. You say if you want to get the refiner, we divide this by 1,000. Whatever we get, multiply by 2.
No. Now the freezer might come in 1,000 kilowatts. They can write 1.5 kilo, and they can come in 1,500 watts or 1,000
Okay.
1.5 kilowatts. Now, because you're doing a calculation on the load, you must get all the units correct. The unit has to be the same. You have to bring all the units to kilowatts to enable continue your calculation. So to convert from horsepower to kilowatts, you need to add a factor 0.075. It's a constant. You just add it to multiply the horsepower to get kilowatts. Now to convert wattage to kilowatts, you just multiply by 1,000 watts
to kilowatts.
Whatever you get is the answer in kilowatts.
Okay. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good, man.
Any other question? Madubike Azu Izuchuku, sorry. Madubike Izuchuku.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
What are the consequences of using a bad diesel?
Okay. Number one consequence is that it will break the circuit breaker. Then it will even make the engine get knocked.
That means you don't understand what I told you, and I was asking question. You didn't even understand one thing I said. How can a bad diesel knock engine? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
That means you don't even know what I was saying. You didn't ask question.
I mean the injector pump.
That means you're not even following what I was saying. How can bad diesel knock engine? Or how can bad diesel go and burn circuit breaker? That's not what I said now. Is that what I said? Mr. Paul Oladotun, is that what I said? Mr. Paul Oladotun.
Are you sure he's hearing you?
Mr. Paul Oladotun, they're not following you. I'm not sure they're following himself. And they're not asking questions.
Mr. Paul is not responding.
Mr. Paul Oladotun. I'm not sure he's even there. Maybe just logged in and then walked out.
I'm seeing him here, but he's not talking.
He's not talking.
There will be a meeting on Zoom where all the branches are and chiefs from this connected. So you laugh now, they will hear.
Mr. Madu DK, you didn't answer well. Oh. That's not what I want to explain. Who is Infinix Hot 121? It's Infinix Hot 12i.
Infinix.
It's me.
What's the name?
M.Saleh ma.
Okay, Mr. Kingsley, please. What's the effect of bad diesel?
Okay, ma. First of all, can you hear me, ma?
I'm with you.
Okay, first of all, if for instance that the diesel is maybe the load, so having maybe the diesel, if you have bad diesel like is dark, it's going to affect the engine. It start making the engine to be frustrating, to be having a sound of knocking sound. In the sense that, hello,
Ah,
I'm
wow.
with you. Mr.
okay,
Gabriel,
in
these
the
people are
sense
not
that,
following you.
Sorry,
They're
madam.
not
What did you
following you. People are not hearing what I was saying. This is
Now, let me
serious.
ask you. Let me ask you. Please, what's your name? Infinix Hot 12th Eye. What's your name?
M.Saleh Carlo.
His name is Kingsley.
Okay, Kingsley. Okay, Kingsley Kalu.
Kingsley Carlo.
Yes.
Yeah. So, have you people forgotten what Madam said about bending the elements if it's like a 1000 series engine you are using, or spoiling the rotor head? You need to service. You need to replace those things and then service the pump. Nobody can remember all these things.
They are not listening, no.
I remember.
Can somebody help us? Can somebody on the platform help us? Ify, can you help us?
Ify is Madam. That's Madam Ifyok.
Okay. Sorry. This is serious.
Wow.
I'm standing, I'm talking, and they were not even listening. Mr. Gabriel, you need to continue at this point.
Are you tired?
I'm not tired now, but they're not listening. So why wasting the time? I have things to do. They're not listening. They're not paying attention. If they're paying attention, they would have heard. And I asked them to ask questions. They were not asking questions.
So what do we do now?
Hello, ma.
Hello,
Hello, sister.
Hello, with you.
This is Jai.
Yes, I know. I have seen you, Jay.
Okay, thank you very
Yeah.
much. The effect of bad diesel, one of it is this: it can affect the starter because it said once the diesel engine is bad, when you want the engine, it will still off itself. You will still on it. It will still off itself. But if care is not taken, it will affect the starter because some of these diesel carry water and it affects the carburetor or the rotor.
That's correct. But I said other things before I came to that point. This meeting is a time-bound meeting.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gabriel.
You say if you can, for us to know the quality of this diesel, it's not be black. It will just be like the color will be like groundnut oil.
Very correct. So the people they just logged in and then they're not there.
Madam, I think what to do is just to go ahead. By the time they resume, they continue with whatever they have learned. They continue from their branch manager.
You cannot say generator is not a dress that you tell the person that will suit you to fit you, or food if you eat to give you energy. Somebody's going to pay so much money for an equipment. You must have the product knowledge to convince this person why it's going on. Before you call the customer care, you must be the first person. I mean, there's your customer call customer care. You are the first person they will call.
Yeah.
Before they call the customer care. It is you that will even refer them to the customer care. And not just refer them, you'd have be able to manage the situation. You understand? Based on your product knowledge before you transfer them to customer care. Because it is you that has a personal relationship with the customer. The customer care person is just doing his official work. So we'll relate to the person officially. Mr. Gabriel,
Yes,
I think you
madam.
should find out if they are on the platform before you continue the next class. Find out
Sorry?
if they are there. Confirm that they are there. Let's not be that we're just talking to people that just log in. You know, if you're on an online meeting, you log in, it will be showing that you are there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're not there.
But like for this Samsung SMA047F, Samsung,
Yes, I'm here.
what's your own name?
Edgar James.
Edgar James, okay. Jaye, what's your full name here? Because on this list I have here, I don't have any Jaye here.
Akinyemi Jaye Thomas.
Akinyemi
Jaye Thomas.
Jaye Thomas.
Yes, miss.
Akinyemi Jaye Thomas. I don't have your name on this list too.
So, Mr. Gabriel.
Okay, yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. Yes, madam, I can hear you.
Okay, you continue.
Let Madam Mara finish with the customer care stuff, then I'll carry them on transformers and the others. Hello, Madam Mara. Madam Mara, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please, can you carry them through the customer care, whatever, then I'll take them on transformers and tractors and the other equipment.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Yes, good morning. Okay, thank you, Mr. Gabriel. Thank you, Madam M.Saleh, for the opportunity. So I'll briefly take you on after sales maintenance. Okay. She has said everything you need to know, because the basic thing after sales, she has said almost everything, is educating your customer, because it's not just to sell and then I've sold the generator, because the feedback from that one sale will determine the more sales you get. So the need to educate them on what they are buying, the product they are buying, and how to maintain them is very important. And the maintenance has to be both ways. It's not just them knowing, okay, they have a maintenance team, they always run back to us. No, their own part, their own quota to the maintenance of the generator is very important, because it determines the longevity of the generator. And the more the generator lasts, the more it hypes our brand, and the more, okay, they see the use of the money they spent on the generator. Don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, first of all, like we said earlier,
Yes.
we talked about connection. First thing we do after purchasing the generator is connection, yeah? So you need to find out from them if everything they need, like the wires and all that, if they are ready, because after purchase, we usually charge for connection, and it will be nice, we go to connect generator after they pay a certain amount for the connection, and then you go there, they're not ready. Of course, it will go back to you like, he didn't tell us this, he didn't tell us that. To avoid such incidents, so once the generator is purchased, let them know one or two things, let them know the readiness of providing their changeover and every other thing before they come. Then we go to preventive maintenance. Like I said earlier, a good maintenance program is very important for this generator. So in the maintenance schedule, we have service contracts for generators. Okay, before the first 100 hours of the generator, it's part of our selling points. If the generator is within Lagos there, it depends on the distance. If it's not very far from our the company, it's usually free. But outside Lagos, or maybe very far from the place you are, you charge them for the first service or connection, whichever that is you are going for. So every first 100 hours, we usually give them first service. So like I said, within Lagos is free, outside Lagos is you charge for it. But any generator from 250 kVA is not free. Is that taken? From 250 kVA is not free. Within or with outside Lagos or any state we are operating from, it's not free. From 250 kVA, it's not free. But less below that is free within that area. So you are advising that every 400 hours, the generator ought to be serviced and all that. Then subsequently, after the 100 hours, the generator ought to be serviced every 200 to 250 running hours. Let them know that they're supposed to service that generator. Because if you don't service the generator, there are so many things it can damage. And by the time all those things are damaged, they'll come back to you, that will see generator I bought so time, what happened and all that. So that's why I say it's a two-way thing. They need to be conscious of the generator. So that's it. So like I said, every 250 hours, they're supposed to service the generator. That is where you advise them of the service contract. Of course, you can direct them to the customer service. They will explain further about the service contract. This service contract, we have 6 services. Within the 6 services, there are 2 emergency calls for the 6 services of one service contract. So at the end of the 6 services, they are all to renew. So that's how you go. But if the generator is not on service contract with us, there are consequences, of course. Maybe something goes wrong, they cannot just come back, hey, we bought generator from you, so is happening. And the first question is, is generator under maintenance schedule with us? No. So we charge to go and inspect and know the problem, and subsequently like that. So that's it for the service contract. Sometimes the warranty too. You know, warranty is 1 year or 1,500 running hours. If within 1 year, there are certain parts that are covered and there are certain parts that are not covered, because some of them might think, okay, because it's a warranty, anything that goes wrong, the company will fix it. No. And within this warranty, if another maintenance person touches the generator that is not from M.Saleh, of course, the warranty is void. And then the 1 year or 1,500 hours, if within 1 year, the generator has run more than 1,500 hours, the warranty is over. Did you get that part? Hello? Do you understand the warranty part?
Yes, yeah, with you.
Okay.
Yes, I understood it.
So another thing like she said earlier about the use of bad diesel. You need to still educate your customers on that, because like I said, it's two-way thing. The way they operate their generator will determine how we follow up with it. Because if you use your generator carelessly and then will come to charge you 1 or 2 things that cost, that must have been damaged and this their fault, you always want to come and look like the generator is not a good generator, it's franchise, blah, blah, blah. So to avoid all those plenty grammar, you let them know certain things ahead of time. You let them know the effects of allowing the generator to be overdue. Once it's time to service it, you ought to service the generator, because if you don't service it, if air filters can block, or you can short, which can still damage the engine. If they're using bad diesel, it will affect the injector pump. Bad diesel, if they bought generator today and the generator have not up to 50 hours and they're using a bad diesel, it can still damage the generator pump, and they'll come to you that, see generator that we bought, what happened? You gave us a bad generator and all that. Why? Because you're not educated on the kind of diesel they will use. So you need to let them know that. Then you need to let them know about, like she said earlier too, about load. Very important. The load is not, you need to let them understand about the load part, because some of them might buy generator and they're not ready to buy the exact number of ACs they previously talked to you about. And they start using generator, maybe they plan to buy 4 ACs. And at the time they bought the generator, they start using 2. Maybe planning to buy 4. maybe next 2 years, and they're still running the generator, it can damage something. So you need to let them know the disadvantage of some certain things to avoid plenty grammar tomorrow and all that. So that's on good maintenance program. Then there's written nothing much about, she have said it all already. Okay, service contracts, the warranty, then they should, the same thing, because it all boils down to letting them know the things they should know, because we know what to do already. But if they're not playing their own parts, it will make the job difficult for us, and it doesn't look like we're not. So that's it for now. There's nothing much to say. So do you have any question?
Yes,
Hello.
good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, my question is that in the aspect of warranty that you talked about, you only specify one condition, that the generator should not be touched by another technician that is on that 1 year warrant. So is there any other thing that will affect that 1 year warrant apart from being touched by another technician?
Okay, thank you. First of all, once you start, of course, you ask for a warranty certificate, like a sample, you read through it. But before then, that's number one. The point you made is number one. The reason why we always tell them, okay, that another technician means third party. When you tell them about third party is because once there's a third party, you can't come and say the generator is on warranty. No. The second point I mentioned is there are parts that are not covered, because you cannot go and use, like my madam said, use a underload and it affects the circuit breaker, then which goes ahead to affect the AC alternator that will require rewinding. And then you come back that the generator is under warranty, but the AC alternator is bad. No, you do not add load, which cause all this to get into damage the AC alternator. We cannot come and tell us to replace the warranty, sorry, the AC alternator, because the generator is still under 1 year or still under 1,500 hours. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that's another point. Then there's, like I said, there are certain parts that are not covered. So this part, like AC alternator, are not covered. So only few parts under 100 running hours that are covered, meaning that below 100 running hours, if these parts are damaged, maybe it's factory fault, of course we can change it. So that's another point in warranty. Another point in warranty is if generator is within 1 year, the warranty is valid. If within 1 year and generator have run more than 1,500 running hours, the warranty is not valid. Same thing if generator is after 1 year and generator is not up to 1,500 hours, warranty is still over. So it's 1,500 hours or 1 year.
Okay.
So for more information, you can get a copy of a warranty and still go through it and read through for more understanding.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So any more questions?
Yes, ma. Good morning, ma.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Okay, ma. Please, you mentioned about these contracts, service contracts
Okay.
of 6 months, and is it only on 6 months?
No, I did not say 6 months. Okay. Like I said, one of your selling points in this generator is letting them know that we have free services, but with limitation. Now, this first service is first 100 running hours. Now, this first 100 hours is free for KVA below 250 KVA within that state. Lagos, so Port Harcourt, Kano, whichever branch you are, within that state, Any generator kVA less than 250 kVA is free. But if the generator is outside your location, it's not free. If generator is within your state, within that state or very close by, and it's 250 kVA upwards, it is not free. Do you understand? So after that first 100 hours you give them, you must let them understand that we have service contracts to continue maintaining their generator, meaning that every 200 to 250 running hours, the generator ought to be serviced, must have to be serviced. Because some of them will run generator to like 400, 500 running hours, and something goes bad, and they are coming to you like, it's not belong with both generator. How come it's overheating? Because if you've not serviced generator, the air filter is blocked. Of course, it goes to affect the radiator. So you must let them know about the servicing and how many number you should run before you service it. So in that being said, so the servicing has when the service contract comes. So this service contracts, we have 6 services within 1 year. 6 services within 1 year, where we change the air filter, they change the oil, they change the fuel filters and the oil filters, then they check all electricals. And every 6 services for each contract has 2 emergency calls, like troubleshoot. They call you the generator tripped off. Okay, we come and respond. The second time they call the generator tripped off or whatever happened, we come and respond. Then the third one, we charge them. So this is why they need to understand the product they are buying. They need to understand the generator so that there will be less troubleshoot. Because if they don't have a knowledge about the generator, there will be more troubleshooting, and it will keep damaging the generator, and the value will keep reducing, and it will not help on our sales. I don't know if you understand. So that service contract has 6 services within a year. But if after 1 year, they've not completed up to the 6th service, of course, maybe we'll give them extra months, like 2, 3, 4 months to complete their 6 services. Then they renew. Did I answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, ma.
Thank you very much, ma.
Hello, ma, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, you said something about 1,500 hours. That's the warranty expires one, reach 1,500 hours. So what I want to understand there, I want to ask, this 1,500 hours, is it under free, as in free 1 year warranty, or is it under this contract service subscription?
Okay. Now we have warranty certificates and we have service contract proposal. They are 2 different things. Warranty, of course, if you buy a phone, it has warranty. Everything has warranty. Now we are trying to explain to you because some customers may not understand this warranty. So it's you that will help them understand our warranty. So they don't think, okay, anything can spoil and they come back to you. So this warranty certificates, you first of all, when you resume work, ask for a copy, read through and understand. Now, this certificate, this one, a warranty has 1 year, 500 running. I mean, if the running hour, the hour meter has like timing, the more the generator is running, the more it's timing. Hello? Can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Okay. So
yes,
if the timing is 1,500 hours and generator is not more than 1 year, warranty is over. Now, this warranty has certain things that is covered and certain things are not covered. Of course, the customer cannot go and damage something and come to you that the generator is under warranty, that you should fix it. No. So to avoid them damaging something, maybe due to non-chalancing or not having a good operator, they're coming back to that is under warranty. You educate them, let them know that these parts are not under warranty or they're under warranty. Of course, certain parts under 100 hours, that is factory fault. Of course, the warranty cannot speak from there. maybe the ammeter is not good, it's not reading well, because it's still under warranty, we'll change it free. So there's, when you go through, you see these few parts that we can change less than 100 hours. More than 100 hours, of course, for you to use generator up to 100 hours, you've used it to a certain point where that you will not say it's a factory fault that spoils that particular part. I don't even know. Okay, for example, when we talk about the use of bad diesel, you bought a generator and it's not up to 100 hours, or even if it's 200 hours, but it's not up to 1 year and it's not up to 1,500 hours, and using a bad diesel, you cannot come to you and say generator is under warranty. No, it's their own fault that the generator got bad. Do you understand?
Yes, man, I can understand.
Which of them?
Thank you very much, Ma. I still want to chip into this point, because this very aspect, I so much love it, because maintenance is very important in everything. And as a consultant, we need to educate our customers to let them know what's the meaning of routine maintenance, because we have a lot of maintenance. We have routine maintenance, we have preventive maintenance, we have corrective maintenance, we still have downtime maintenance. And it's not a bad thing. What they don't understand, they should go through.
Hello, I can't hear you again. No. Yes,
For maintenance.
Izuchukwu? Hello.
Sir.
Yes, see all these things you are asking. You have the opportunity of being at the head office, so I'm surprised that you are still asking these questions by now.
Right.
You are supposed to have gotten this information from your sales manager before today.
Yes, sir, it's just that 1,500 hours that she just emphasized on.
Yeah, your warranty is 1 year or 1,500 hours, whichever comes first. Whichever comes first.
Okay.
Any other questions?
As the person come back, someone was asking a question, it's like we lost him. Someone was asking a question. He's not online anymore.
He was trying to throw more light on the issue of warrant and all those things, which is clear to everybody. I think we can move on.
Okay.
That is clear to, yes, it's clear to everybody.
Hello, Madam. Are you done? Are you done?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So good afternoon once again, gentlemen. I don't think we have we don't. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Madam Mara, thank you so much for your whatever. Madam Messi, is Madam Messi still here? Well, as you are aware, M.Saleh and Company Limited, as a company, we are not just into generators and only generators. We are into generators, we are into solar energy, we are into transformers, we are into agri-tractors, we are also into construction equipment. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So
yes, sir.
it is good you know what your company does. Apart from generators, we are also into sales and maintenance of transformers, solar energy, construction equipment such as concrete mixers, forklifts, and others. We are also into agri-tractors. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm going to start with the type of tractors that we have as M.Saleh and Company Limited. Sorry, the type of transformers that we have as M.Saleh and Company Limited. We have two types of transformers here. One is metallic, and the other is CNC. These are the types of transformers that we have in M.Saleh and Company Limited for now. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So I didn't hear you clearly, sir.
We have two types of transformers that we sell in M.Saleh and Company Limited. Two types. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
One is metallic. Metallic is spelled as M-A-T-E L-E-C. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
Metallic and CNC. CNC, C for Cecilia, CN for Nigeria, and C again for Cecilia. CNC. These are the two types of transformers that we have in M.Saleh and Company Limited. And of course, as time goes on, if we bring in any other brand, we'll also let you know. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then, the first question a customer will ask you about the transformer is, what make do you have? That is the metallic and the CNC. That is the make. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
If a customer
Yes,
asks
sir.
you, what's the make of your transformer? You tell him you have CNC, you have metallic. Then the voltage of the transformers. There are two types of transformers. The voltage is either 11/415 or 33/415. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The voltage of the transformers are either 11/415 or 33/415.
Okay.
Some people might refer to it as step down or step up.
Yeah.
The 11/415 is the step down. The 33/415 is the step up. Some people might just call you and ask you, do you have that 100 kVA transformer step up or 100 kVA transformer step down, depending on the language the customer understands.
Yes, yes, yes.
They can also refer to it as low tension or high tension. Note, the 11/415 and the 33/415, there are two different types of voltage there. The customer might ask you, you have 11415, you have low tension, you have step down, it's still the same thing. 11415, low tension, step down is the same thing. 33415, high tension, step up is the same thing. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
I want to ask you people now, how many types of transformers do we have in M.Saleh? Who can tell me?
two types.
Sir.
Let somebody volunteer to tell me the two types.
Okay, sir. I'm here.
One is metallic
Sorry?
transformer, and the other one is CNC.
Okay, that's from a bigger, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Metallic and CNC. That's a good one. And of course, any other one that comes in will also let you know. Any other new brand that comes in will let you
All
know.
right.
I hope that one is understood by everybody.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Then the
Yes, sir.
voltage. We have two. Can somebody raise up his hands and tell me the voltage?
So 11 by 415, step down or low tension. And 33 by 415, step up or high tension.
So I want to assume that we all of us, that we got all this.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Your selling point on transformers for M.Saleh and Company Limited, your selling point now is that all your transformers come with the original test certificate from the factory. That is one of the things you can use to convince a customer who wants to buy a transformer from you, that all your transformers have original test certificate from the factory, which it's only the customer that will open it.
Sorry, sir, from where?
Original test certificate from the factory.
Okay.
It is only the customer that will open this test certificate. That is, of course, after payment and everything. Is that okay?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
I said that is a selling point. You can tell the customer your transformers are actually expensive, but this is why you have original transformers, because nobody will open that your transformer comes with a test certificate from the factory, and it is only the customer that will open it. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I want to ask again, what is your selling point on transformers?
The selling point is that all our transformer comes with the certificate from the factory, and it's only the customer that can open the certificate. Only the customer that can open the certificate.
It comes with what?
Okay, sir. All our transformer comes with original test certificate from the factory, which the customer can open it after payment.
So
Which the customer can access the certificate after payment.
Okay. Then the transformer must be tested by NEPA. I'm using the word NEPA now because we are in Port Harcourt. In Port Harcourt is PHED. In Lagos, I don't know what it is called here. The power distribution company and whatever. I don't know what it is called in Lagos. So that's why I'm using the word NEPA. The transformer will also be tested by NEPA before it is delivered. You have the test, this test report. The customer will bill with one, while M.Saleh will bill with the second copy. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Hello, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear
The
you.
transformer comes with 1-year warranty. But the transformer must not be overloaded. If the transformer is overloaded, the warranty is not valid. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That is still your selling point. You have 3 key selling points on the transformers. 1, your test certificate. The transformer comes with original test certificate from the factory. 2, the transformer must be tested by NEPA before delivery. The test report, 2 copies. The customer has the original copy. The company has the second copy. 3, your transformer comes with 1-year warranty. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, you need to know about transformers. Some people that will come to buy these transformers, some of them are electricians, or they have one kind of knowledge about transformers, and they want to be sure of what they are buying. 1, all your transformers, they come in copper. There is also aluminum transformers. Aluminum transformers, they don't last, so customers don't like them. Your own is in copper. That is still your selling point. Your transformer is copper, it's a copper transformer. Copper, I think it's COOPER or something. I don't. Okay.
Yes.
Then, when these people that have so much knowledge about the transformers, they are likely your transformer's coil is copper. What is the coil connection? You know that?
Yes.
Eh?
No, sir.
Who said yes, sir? You know the coil connection.
It's a coil connection.
The coil connection, you know that? You know the coil connection of your transformers?
Is that not the copper that you said?
No, the coil of your transformer is copper. But there's another thing you need to know, which is the coil connection.
Oh. Okay.
Now, there are 3 types of coil connection. Of the transformer, there are 3 types of coil connection. DYN11.
So come again.
DYN11. D for Daniel. Y for York. N for Nigeria. DYN11. That is the first type of coil connection. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then number 2, YZN11.
Noted.
YZN11. Then number 3, YYN0. YYN 0.33. YYN 0.33. That is a third type of coil connection. Now, I hope you're okay with that.
Yes.
So,
Now, the DYN11 is preferable to all customers. That is what almost all the customers will want. The DYN11, because of the uniformity of the coil connection. The coil is connected in a uniform way. Uniformity of coil connection. The coil is connected in the same way, in a uniform way. So that is why, that is what anybody that knows about it will want to buy. The coil connection is done in a uniform way, in the same way, in the same manner. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
so
Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Then the second one, which is YZN11. The connection is zigzag. It has zigzag connection. YZN11. Zigzag connection. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you with me? Hello, did you hear the last thing I said? Did you get it?
Yes, we got the second
That
one.
is a YZ11.
Yes.
Yes.
Zigzag connection.
Zigzag connection.
Zigzag connection.
Yes.
Then the YYN 0.33, they call that connection delta. Delta connection. These are electrical languages. I'm not an engineer, but I get to learn on this thing on the job, just like you are learning now.
Okay, sir.
That one is delta connection. So this DNY11 is also your selling point. Understand?
Okay, sir.
Yes, you can
Yes, sir.
tell the customer, my transformer is original. It comes with original test certificate from the factory. I have 1 year warranty period on it. Apart from the test certificate from the factory, we will still test in our office before delivery. And then, of course, you have a copy of that report. We also have a copy of that report. And our transformer is a very rugged one. The coil connection is DYN11. So if the customer does not know what the DYN11 means, he will ask you, what do you mean by DNY11? At that point, you have to tell him that the coil connection is done in a uniform way. And if the transformer has any problem and you need to recoil, it is easier for you to recoil. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Any question on that before we move to the next product?
And sorry, my own question here is that are we dealing with just with transformer, which is DN11, or we have the three of them?
No, we don't have the three of them. We have only the.
We have the one first. Okay.
Only the
uniform
yes,
connection.
The one with uniform connection is the only one we have. DYN11.
All right, sir.
That is better and preferable by customers.
Yes.
So that is the only one we have.
All right, sir.
Any other question? Before we go to the next product. Any other question?
No questions, sir.
Okay. The next product we are going into is agri tractors. I'm sure most of you have heard about tractors before. Used for farming. If you look at here, can you see the picture of a tractor?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You can see this. Can you see it?
Sir. Yes,
okay.
You can see it.
This is a typical example of a tractor. Here in M.Saleh, we have two types of tractors. We have two types of tractors. What I am showing you here is Massey Ferguson agri tractor. Massey Ferguson, popularly known as MF. Massey Ferguson. Massey Ferguson is spelled as M-A-S-S-E-Y. Massey Ferguson. Ferguson is spelled as F-E-R-G-U-S-O-N. This is Massey Ferguson agri tractors. You can see them. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Then there's another type of tractor that we have. That one is called Photon. They took light here, that's why you can't see me. They took light, you can't see me.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, but of course you can hear me.
Very well.
Yeah.
Photon agri tractor. Photon, F-O-T-O-N. Photon. It's also known as Europad. Europad 600. Europad 600. Yeah, can you see me now?
Yes, sir.
You can see that the picture of the Massey Ferguson is different from the picture of the Europad. Now see up here. Can you see up here?
Yes, sir.
Can you see this? Up
Yeah.
here is
We can
the
see, sir.
Europad. Photon Agri-Tractor Europad 600. You see? Look at this label here. You will see on it Europad 600. I don't know if you can see it here. Can you see Europad 600?
We cannot see the label very well, but
yes, but
we can see the tractor. Yes.
Of course, when you resume, you will have all this like this catalog. You will have then you also go through and then you get some other information that you need to get.
It's all right.
Then up here, up down below the Europad is the. I think you can see the difference.
Yes.
Down is the Massey Ferguson. Up here is the Photon.
Is it
you can see the two of them.
Yeah.
The Photon, anybody that wants to buy an agri-tractor will ask you how many horsepower is your tractor. The Photon agri-tractor has a 60 horsepower Perkins engine. 60 horsepower Perkins engine. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Is it 50 or 60?
60, 60. 60.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Noted.
6.
6, yeah.
60 horsepower Perkins engine.
Okay, sir.
The customer is also likely to ask you, is it a 4-wheel drive? The answer is no. If it is 4-wheel, it is 4x4, but it is a 2-wheel drive, 2x4. It is not a 4-wheel drive, it is a 2x4 drive. When you get, as you begin to go through this thing, for both the Massey Ferguson and the Photon, is 2-wheel drive, not 4. 2x4,
okay,
not 4x4. So by the time you resume, I think you are likely to resume on the 1st of August. If it's the first working day in August. Can you hear me?
No, sir. No, sir. Come again, sir.
Yes, sir.
I said the first working day in August, you are likely to resume in our office in Lagos.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Of course, we will communicate to you, we will send you the address and the contact number of the branch manager.
Okay, sir.
So when you get there, you will get something like this. Feel free to ask any question. You will get something like this. You will get for generators. You will get for other things.
Okay, sir.
So where did I stop? About the drive of the Photon, right?
Yes,
drive
sir.
is 2x4. It has a Perkins engine of how many horsepower?
60.
60 horsepower.
60 horsepower, yes. Then the Massey Ferguson is 75 horsepower.
Okay.
Also Perkins engine. 75 horsepower. So now, apart from our tractors, when you if you have the opportunity of seeing any other tractor, you see from the name, you will be able to know the horsepower of that tractor. You see from Europad 600, Europad 600, you see it on the body, on the bonnet of that tractor. Or if someone gives you a model of a tractor, from that model, you should be able to reason out the horsepower. Now, this Massey Ferguson is popularly known as MS375. MF375. And from what I told you, it is a 75 horsepower engine. 75 horsepower engine. So you can see that from the name, you should be able to crack your brain and know the horsepower of that tractor.
Yes.
Then these tractors, they are not just bought for decoration. They are to be used on the farm. And because of that, there are so many implements of the tractors that you can buy when you buy the tractor. For us in M.Saleh, that is, we are on the implements of the tractors now. We are on the implements of the tractors.
Okay, sir.
Can you see this? This, where my hand is. Can you see this?
Yes.
That one is the tipping trailer. You understand? You see this tipping trailer now. Can you see the tipping trailer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this tipping trailer now can be attached to the tractor for movement of farm products. You understand?
Yes, sir.
If you can see behind me here, you see the tipping trailer. You see the tipping trailer attached. Can you see?
Yes, yes.
Can you see the way the tipping trailer is attached to the tractor?
Yes.
Yes.
You know, it will carry goods. When they get to the location, it will tip the goods. You can see it. Can you see my hand? Can you see my hand?
Yes, sir.
This is the tipping trailer attached to the tractor here. This one is a roll-up banner standing in my office. You can see it. You can see. Can you see? Can you see? That is the tipping trailer. And then the tipping trailer, we have two types for now. We have 5 ton and we have 7 ton. That's the tonnage. We have 5 ton and we have 7 ton. But the one that is plenty on ground is the 5 ton. The 7 ton is produced on request. Then, still on the implement, apart from the tipping trailer, we have ridger. We have Ridger, R-I-D-G-E-R, Ridger. We have Harrow, disc Ridger, disc Harrow. We also have the disc plow. We have the Ridger, we have the Harrow, we have the plow. And then, of course, we also have the slasher or the mower. You understand? This is the Ridger. Can you see my hand?
Yes, sir.
This is the Ridger. This is the Harrow. Can see the Harrow? Can you see the Harrow?
Yes, sir.
This is a slasher or mower. Write these things down, these implements down. At your spare time, you can just Google them. You will see what they are used for. If you put Ridger, now go to Google, put Ridger. If you go to Google, put mower. If you go to Google, put Harrow. Of course, it will bring out so many things with agri tractors. You will see and know what it's supposed to be used for. But of course, the customer will come and tell you, do you have Ridger? Do you have Harrow? You understand what I'm saying? Because there's a need for you to Google it and know what it is used for. And then, of course, this is the plow. You see, they look alike, but they perform different functions. Any of these things, any of these implements can be attached. Any of these implements can be attached to the tractor, just like the tipping trailer is attached now. They can remove the tipping trailer when they need to use the Ridger. They attach the Ridger, they remove it and attach the mower when they want to use the mower. They attach the Harrow when they need to use the Harrow and remove the one that they are not using at the moment. Any question on that?
No questions, sir.
Okay. Now, we also deal on concrete mixers. We deal on concrete mixers. Do you know what a concrete mixer looks like?
No, sir.
Do you know what a concrete mixer looks like?
No, sir.
No, sir.
But me personally, I know a feed mixer, but I don't know, maybe it's the one you are talking about, sir.
You know which one?
Okay, I know it, sir.
Feed
Okay,
mixer, feed mixer.
I know this. I know it. I know
Okay.
it.
Can you see this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is used for construction.
Okay.
Either house or road construction. By the time you report at your station, you will see this. You can touch it, you can play with it, roll the bucket and whatever. It has a lister engine. This is small mixer. This is the smallest. Can you see? This is the smallest mixer. It has a lister engine of 1 cylinder. Because these are things the customer is likely to ask you, what kind of engine, how many cylinder, the customer is likely to ask you. And then the bucket, look at it. Can you see the bucket here? Can you see my hand?
Yes, sir.
This is the bucket. The bucket is 150 liters. These are things the customers are likely to ask you. That's a liter engine of one cylinder. And then the bucket is 150 liters. Also, you can refer to it as one bag. The customer is likely to ask you how many bags of cement. You tell him 1 bag of cement. Then you see this one now. We have also the big size that can mix 2 bags. 2 bags of cement. The small one now is 1 bag. The big one is 2 bags. 2 bags of cement. The difference between the 2 bags and this one now. You see this bucket now. You see this bucket here. This bucket can roll down. You can push it down here. When they mix the chippings, the sand and the cement, they use hand shovel or head pan to mix it. You understand? Head pan, depending on, I think they use head pan to mix it. They do their calculation based on that to load it. But the 2 bags has a self-loader. It has a self-loader that will roll down here. You understand? Can you see my hand? It will roll down. As the bucket turns down, it will roll down and pour it inside the bucket. That one is self-loader. But the big one, but the small one is not self-loader. You load it manually. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Then the big one has lifter engine of 2 cylinders. The small one has 1 cylinder. The big one has 2 cylinders. Is that understood? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then the big one, the big one now has 2 types. The big one has 2 types. There is one that has a crane, and the other one does not have a crane. For people that are into construction of buildings, they will prefer the one that has the crane, because the crane can lift. There is a bucket that they pour concrete inside. The crane can lift the concrete up to 12-story building. Of course, that makes it more expensive. The one with the crane, and then the second one does not have a crane. That one is mostly used by people that are into construction of roads, because they don't need the crane. They don't need to carry the crane up anywhere. For people that are into buildings, especially story buildings, they will need the two bags, big mixer that has the crane to carry concrete up to 12-story building. And that one, the size of the bucket is 250 liters. The size of the bucket for the big mixer is 250 liters. For the small bucket, for the small mixer, 1 bag mixer is 150 liters. okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you okay? Is there any question before we go ahead? Okay, let me finish these types of mixers. There is also a motorized mixer. Motorized. That is, you can enter and drive it like a vehicle. Can you see the motorized? Can you see this motorized mixer?
Yes, sir.
The driver can stay here, enter inside, stay here, and drive. Can you see it? Now it's a self loader. It's a self loader. You see this thing up here. Can you see this one? Can you see this black thing here?
Yes, sir. I can see it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They can roll it down here like this, down on the ground. They pour concrete inside. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They roll it down here, pour concrete inside, and then take it back to pour it inside this bucket. And then the bucket will mix it. Can you see the bucket?
Yes, sir.
The size of this bucket is 750 liters. Then there is a bigger one. Now this one has a Lombardini engine. The engine is Lombardini engine. That is what this 750 liters has. Lombardini engine, made in Italy. It's an Italian engine. Then there is a bigger one of this very type, which is 1,000 liters. It operates the same way too, self-loader, motorized. But that one is 1,000 liters, while this one is 750 liters. So when you resume at your location, try to see all these things practically and ask questions so that you don't mislead your customer. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So ask questions on this concrete mixer before we proceed. If there's any question, ask before we proceed. Any question on this concrete mixers? If there's no question, can we move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Now we move ahead to dumpers. We have dumpers. Dumpers are like a small truck that you can drive with something like a tipper in front. They will load Can you see this? Can you see my hand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is the dumper. Can you see the dumper?
Yes, sir.
This one now, they will pour concrete and some other things here, and then it will go there and tip it down like a tipper. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
We have different types of them. For the ones that we have now, it's 1.5 tons, 2 tons, and 3 tons. And 3 tons. And they have Doy's engine. Doy's engine. That is what they have. Have you people seen this? Can you people see this picture of the doors on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Of the dumper.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes, I can see it. Yes, sir.
Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
We can see.
This is a dumper. You see the seat, you see where the driver can sit and whatever.
Yes.
Okay. If there is no question, I will take you to forklift. How many of you have seen a forklift before?
Yes.
Yes,
Have you
sir.
seen a forklift before?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you see this on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can see.
Yes, sir.
This is a forklift. Now, from the side of a forklift, you will know the tonnage of that forklift, just like I gave you the name for that agri tractor, that Europad 600. You will see it by the side.
Yes.
Massive MF 375. You will know. Who can tell me from this picture now? Who can guess and tell me now the tonnage of this forklift?
It's just that we cannot see the label very well. You can see the
2.5.
Sorry?
2.5.
25
tons.
25. Okay.
I can see it.
Okay, can you see what is written here?
That's 25.
Can you see this? Can you see this? Can you see this?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes,
tell me now, what's the tonnage of this?
25. That's 2.5 tons.
25 coupon cents.
Sorry? Jai, what do you have to say? Tell me.
25 coupon cents. 25 coupon cents or something like that. I don't
Just
see it
tell
very
me,
clear.
forget about what is written under there. What is the tonnage of this by me looking at it? The tonnage of this sorry?
2.5 ton, 2.5.
Yes, the tonnage is 2.5 ton.
Okay.
Can you see it now? That is why I told you, from the look of whatever, you will see it. But
yes.
right now, what we have on ground is 3.5 tons and 7 tons. So like the 3.5 tons now, you will see it. You will see 3.5 here. You understand?
Yes.
That is 3.5 tons. We have 3.5 now, and we have 7 tons. But of course, every time the company might likely bring smaller tonnage like this 2.5, it might bring it again, or bring 1.5 tons, 2.5 tons, 2 tons, 3 tons, and whatever. You understand?
Yes.
But what we have now is 3 tons and then 7 tons. And it's exactly like this. And they have Mitsubishi engine.
Okay.
Mitsubishi engine. Mitsubishi. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, if you have any question, you can ask before we go further.
Okay.
With this,
Sir.
we have gradually come to the end.
Sir. Sir, please, I want to ask.
Yes.
Our 7 ton, is it single fork or double fork, sir?
Sorry?
I mean, for the 3.5, what you have now, is it single fork or double fork? I mean, for the fork, whether is it single fork? Because you have double fork and single fork. Those are the one that can take up to 4, like they can operate like 4, carry like 2 different pallets together.
No. It's still, you see, yeah, all of them, all the ones, even this 2.5 ton, the fork is like this. You understand? You see my 2 hands?
Yes.
Attached to it. There is no one that is single like this. All of them have.
So what I mean is that, so I know.
Whether like
so
these
I know,
two
I
now,
know,
listen, whether like this fork now, they will have another fork somewhere again.
Yes, sir. What I'm saying now, that is because one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, it's single.
Yes, sir. That's my
the
question.
single is just 2 like this. Can you see my 2 hands? Yeah, just like that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
For all of them. For all of them. Any other question?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. I want to ask question. Like somebody asked now, what do you have as a in forklift? I told the person 3.5 and 7.5. And the person said that, can you people bring above? Can you people, if the person plays, can you people bring above the available one? What would I give the person as response?
The available ones are 3 tons and 7 tons now.
No, the person need above like more than 7.5.
You tell the person now, we don't have at the moment now, because of course no customer will even want to pay and wait for you, except if it's an old customer and you know when you are going to have it.
Okay.
Any other question? Any other question?
Sorry, sir. For this tractor and then the forklift, dumper and all those things, do we have engineer that will maintain it, or it will be left for the customers to maintain it themselves? We have engineer on ground that will maintain it. Hello, sir.
Network. Just have question is going to be back.
Hello? Are we here?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Okay, he'll soon get back shortly. His own this thing went off. Okay, he'll soon join you shortly.
okay.
No problem.
All right,
Thank
thank you. Yeah.
Sorry, we had a small challenge here.
Okay, sir.
So somebody was asking a question also.
Yes, sir. I like to ask if we have the after sale maintenance for this
Okay.
equipment.
Like I was saying,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
when you sell these things off, you won't be able to like follow customers and whatever. Because of the customer can use his engineers, because the only thing you need to do is to change oil and whatever. So we don't do all those ones. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other question?
In that case, sir,
Yes.
is there any warrant on all this? And how do we know if we are not following it? If the regulation is observed, as in for those customers, they observe the regulation of the distance, just like in the aspect of the generators. Yes. So generators, for example, now, if there are some things that contradict the terms of a warrant. So in this case, now, if there is warrant now, there is nobody following them. How do we know that they contradict the terms of the warranty and others?
What we do, we give warranty only on the engine.
Okay, okay.
Only on the engine. And then
okay,
on
sir.
that engine, that is not only for this one, for agri tractors, for concrete mixers, and
Yes.
others, we give warranty only on the engine. Like for the concrete mixers, we give warranty on the engine for 3 months.
Okay, sir.
For concrete mixers, because the concrete mixers has no hour, so you cannot measure the usage. But for these ones, for tractors, for forklifts, for what else? For these concrete mixers, you know, they have this kilometer setting on the board, on the dashboard.
Yes.
There's this kilometer setting like for the car. So we give 500 hours. That is on the kilometer. That is on the engine.
Okay, sir.
Any other? Any other question? Do you have any other question?
No, sir.
I think
No,
with
sir.
that, we have come to the end of the training. You will be resuming on the 1st of August, the first working day of August. The first working day of August in your station in Lagos.
Okay, sir.
And
Okay,
like
sir.
I told you people when I was conducting the interview, I told you we'll give you 50,000 naira monthly allowance. And then you take 1% commission on anything you sell. Like this forklift now, the 3-ton is like how many million? 27, 28 million. So if you sell that, of course, so if you sell that in a month with some other things, of course, you will not even remember your 50K allowance. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And then of course, there are so many things as a salesperson that you need to learn, you need to know how to keep yourself very neat. Because like my madam will always say, if you are smelling, the customer will not want to talk to you the second time. He might not even want you to come to his office.
Yes.
Because everywhere, like you see where they are building a new house about to be completed, a filling station about to be completed, all these people, they need either generator or transformer. So we'll need both of them. And you should have it in mind, you are in a competitive market. As you drop your proposal there, maybe you drop this with a flyer and your card. Other people will drop, and the customer is likely to go through them and then also call you to give him or her a quotation. By the time you go there to give him a quotation, if you are smelling, my brother, he will not allow you there the second time. And when you also need to dress, you must not dress expensive. You don't need to break the bank to look good. But you can dress moderately, especially because of the people at the gates. If you dress anyhow, the people at the gate or at the site, if you go near them, they will tell you your guy is not around. Or if you dress moderately, at least you look well and whatever, you talk to them, parley with the gate man. You can even go as far as take buy water drink. By the time you come again, the gate man will tell you whether the person is there or is not there. That information that he's giving you, he might not give it to other people. So you are not, have it at the back of your mind, you are not the only one dropping the quotation there. So you have to know your selling point. Know your selling point. Like if you have a 50 kVA, you submit a quotation for 50 kVA. Somebody brings in a quotation for 40 kVA, I'll tell the customer they are the same. Or brings a quotation for the same 50 kVA or for 60 kVA, selling it cheaper. Use your selling point. Tell the customer your generator is 1000 series engine and it has a manual pump. That manual pump now is the one that it has either rotor or element. That of course you can still change the element or change the rotor head or work the both of them and then service the service the pump, and your generator will start working. But if it is the electrical pump, you will need to change the whole pump, which is very, very expensive. And of course, the cost of parts for 1000 series is cheaper than the cost of the electrical. The 1000 series, the parts are available and cheaper. You can tell the customer it's not just buying at a cheaper price, but continuous maintenance. The person will begin to ask himself, you know, of course, in economics, money is the measure of value. The person will ask himself, this is more expensive. I think I have every reason to buy this, because this equipment is not a cheap equipment. It's not like a shirt that if you buy, it's not your size, you can dash your brother. The smallest generator here that you sell is 5-point-something million. So you work hard, and then of course you make money for the company and make money for yourself. We are going to send you the address and then the phone number of the branch manager, so that you can resume on the first working day of next month. I still remain Gabriel Michael Audu. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Madam, you have anything to add for them?
No.
Okay.
No.
So with this, we call it a day. You want to ask question, ask.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I just want to ask the location of the place.
This is what I tell you now. We are going to send you the phone number of the branch manager and the address of the
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
So when you go there with these lectures you have, ask of the product so that you know them physically, and then there are so many things you will learn on the job. I won't be able to teach you half of the things that I know about generators and all these other products. I won't be able to teach you half of them. They are inside me. They can't come except questions will come, and then, you understand? So thank you very much, and take good care of yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, ma.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you.
Thank you.